a lot of courage on those parts of those people to actually stand against the grain. And you're taking numbers that are just total bullshit. I mean, there's nothing to back up your stat. You're just assuming that any architect or engineer that hasn't come out in favor of 9/11 being a controlled demolition is against it automatically, when many of them would be very fearful of what could happen to their careers and their families and their livelihoods. So, I mean, I think most
do you have the names of those 3,000 we can look at, by the way? Because I don't think any of them were structural engineers. And
architects and engineers for 9/11 Truth or something like that.
Yeah, I'll give you the.
If you Google that, it says that they were not experts, or that they.
Yeah, I don't think any of them were experts either.
Or they were members of conspiracy groups already.
Right. Well, you guys obviously have no desire to even entertain that this could be a conspiracy or an inside job.
We are, so I mean,
you haven't given us any evidence to do so.
That doesn't mean anything. Come on, you're talking to me. I mean,
I don't entertain the possibility of unicorns flying out of my ass.
If you presented a case that was strong enough, you would sway people. There's no reason for us to hold on to a lie. That's not how we operate. If you were able to present a better case that this was actually an inside job, or that there was something to the claims that you're making, we would change our mind. There's no benefit for us holding on to something that isn't true if we can clearly see it. But we can't clearly see it because it's not there.
Look, I'm the most censored channel in YouTube history. Do you know that? Do you know that I've had hundreds of videos pulled by YouTube? Okay, so what I'm trying to tell you is most people that want to have
videos. I don't know.
Well, I mean, they're what I do. Okay, so but just think about this for a second. What I'm trying to tell you is this: if you want to have a successful YouTube career, pushing 9/11 Truth is not the way to go, and it's going to get you censored really quick.
I mean, he had a very successful channel.
That's not a credible. That's not a credible source. Okay, so I'm not going to go there, sort of thing. But what I'm telling you is that anybody that stands against the official narrative of any story, Sandy Hook is a great example. Their careers are threatened. They get fired. You're not allowed to question the official narrative. And my specialty over the years of doing this, like I was one of the ones that exposed Sandy Hook as being an inside job, a complete, fabricated, fake shooting sort of thing.
Excuse me?
And
Excuse me? Stop. Dave, mute him. Okay, I didn't know this. But if you're going to come on here and try to say that those kids who lost their life at Sandy Hook is fake or an inside job, you're not welcome on this show. Dave, please remove him from here. I will not have somebody that spouts off that kind of ignorant bullshit. Not happening.
Well, how much different is that than the 9/11? Now, granted, he admits people died in 9/11. So, but I mean, if you're going to say that people that didn't, yeah, exactly. If you're going to say that kids didn't die in Sandy Hook, and I've had the same thing.
There's a huge difference between the discussion we're having tonight and saying that those kids that lost their lives didn't have a huge difference.
Totally.
And I'm not going to be a part of any of that. Not happening.
I got a big problem.
Totally.
There's a reason I bought this.
Yeah, somebody earlier.
There we go, baby. Hey, come on.
Somebody earlier in the chat had said, "Is that guy?" Actually, they said slob. Seriously, downing booze on camera. I said, one, he's not a slob. You have a problem with somebody drinking, and I'm pretty sure he needs a drink for this shit.
I'm going to have one afterwards. I guarantee it. I was only drinking Rockstar. Oh shit.
I will listen to. I'll listen to anybody's beliefs, no matter how crazy they are. But when something like that happens, when kids are being shot in an elementary school, and you're going to come on here and try to say that you exposed that, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
And it won't happen here.
Yeah,
I'm going to let you now sum up your thoughts from this discussion and add any kind of last-minute details that you would like, anything like that.
So it does feel... On the one hand, it feels a little unfair because he's not here to retort. On the other hand, I kind of want to say fuck him for that Sandy Hook shit. The shortest version is he can't explain how his super voodoo psychology is supposed to work, and I demonstrated that it can be used to prove that he's programmed to believe in conspiracy theories that don't actually exist. by the exact same methods he presented to claim we're programmed to believe in 9/11. And he couldn't do anything about that except to go, those don't count, those don't count, those don't count. He, to his credit, had said right from the get-go that he is not the guy to talk to about the engineering standpoint. But he also then insisted that he understood the engineering standpoint well enough to tell a Navy nuke and a guy who builds shit for a living how to interpret the engineering analysis that was performed by professionals, and telling us that despite the dozens of articles that have been published in peer review, 3,000 guys who couldn't get a damn thing published other than one analysis that showed evidence of, get this, rust and aluminum was in the dust.
Well, that is thermite. That is thermite, actually.
The collapse. That would be thermite if it were elemental aluminum. The problem is all of the aluminum was trapped in molecules, which means you couldn't use it to create a thermite reaction.
Absolutely
what you could say was that you had red paint and red primer, and you had part of an airplane made out of aluminum.
Yep, you're exactly right. You need elemental aluminum and rust, iron oxide.
And I will own the slob part. I'm competent enough that I don't have to care about looking good.
I gotta tell you, can I just say real quick?
You did.
I'm so impressed.
I was gonna say the same thing you are. You did killer, man.
You were
very
just amazing
impressed with what you. Yep.
I appreciate it. I think the biggest thing that I am owed any kind of a compliment for is not strangling myself or damaging my computer equipment in frustration with that guy.
Yeah.
Well, it's just.
I mean, it's we all go through that. I mean, it's very frustrating when you some people assert things, and when you just question them, they lose their shit. It's like I asked them very simplistic questions, like the pull thing. By the way, and I think he said pull. Not pull it, but I don't remember exactly what Larry said. But when I asked him what were these companies that use this in the industry standard, he said before I remember correctly, he had numerous sources, 33 different sources. Couldn't name one.
I think
this
that was
meant
to try and steel man him. I think that was supposed to be a joke, a numerology joke. 33 to year 11.
Possible. But still,
when I did research on that phrase. When I did research on the whole World Trade Center 7 pull-it commentary, one of the things that they did talk about is that there are engineering companies, demolition companies that use the term for when they hook a fuck ton of bulldozers to the building and literally pull it down, which not even the craziest conspiracy theory suggests happen.
Don't put it past them. A comment just was made in the live chat that says, "I see a little bit of Aaron Ra in a name." That's high praise right there.
So I've been compared to Aaron Ra and Penn Jillette so far this stream.
Yeah,
somebody needs to call me a slob again to get my ego back down. This is going to my head too much.
Well, let's do super chats. Let's see what the audience had to say.
Chats. By the way, I was steel manning him as well when he talked about the 1,000. I didn't think any of them were experts, but I was assuming for arguendo that if they were experts, why listen to them, right? But he had nothing. Uncle Ned, $2. So any evidence of this New World Order garbage? None that I see. By the way, I will go on record. I'm Jewish. I am part of the New World Order, and it pays like shit. So this shilling shit, you don't make a lot from it, but I try.
Everyone knows you're Jewish.
Mazel tov. Miss V, $2. Is it possible for a tinfoil hat to be too tight? His was quite too tight. Arnie, what are you doing, Dragon? We know what you look like. Arnie, 200 in a Crohn's, which I think is like $40-$50 or something. Thank you, Arnie. Rocco the Rum Runner rubbed out Okay, I'm going to say this right. Rocco the Rum Runner rubbed out Rico the Rat with his Roscoe for robbing his rum running receipts. And then Rocco the Rum Runner rubbed out Rico the Rat with his Roscoe rubbing for rum running receipts. Is that close enough?
I want to be that high. I want to be that high.
You want to try it? Want to try it?
I have a significant correction. This is Scotch, not rum.
Yeah. Well,
I feel that's an important thing to clarify.
Yeah, Steve, tell everybody your story about that.
I had a friend who sent me a video card for my computer, and at the same time he sent this, right, which was 10-year-old Scotch, which I was like, because I happen to like Scotch, but inside was an imported beer instead, which, by the way, was a damn good beer, and I actually liked the beer, but it was one of the best pranks I've ever seen. He's like, I got you.
Oh, man.
And I was like, you did. But you know what? I got a cool Scotch thing out of it.
Somebody send that man a 10-year-old Scotch. Someone send Steve a 10-year-old.
Or a 12-year-old Cannon.
Someone needs to send him a 10-year-old Scotch.
Not a
10-year-old Scott, a 10-year-old Scotch.
Yeah, I don't want a 10-year-old Scott. No, Scotch. You like Scotch? Really, Kyle? Really awesome.
Scotch,
and so we all like. Hey, you like Scotch?
Scotch in my belly. I do.
Okay, I'm impressed. We all have some culture here. Cool. Puffalophagus, $2. How much Alex Jones merch just dude got? Probably.
Well, we know for a fact he does after the Sandy Hook comment. I mean, you know that's
where he gets a lot of
deeply
shit.
Rooted in Alex Jones.
Oh, half his shit was from Alex Jones and David Icke. Spot on. The whole programming stuff. That's all from them. Right.
Let me make a comment about David Icke. Now, he's completely full of shit, but I will tell you, listening to him, if you're somebody that could be easily swayed, he's a very powerful speaker. I mean, very powerful speaker.
Oh, absolutely. I've listened to him. I used to be on Coast to Coast. Yeah.
He's
132. $10. It would have been far easier to trick massive groups of people without the internet. Why did they allow the internet to begin? Why did they allow it to persist? Same thing with these conspiracy stuff. I mean, there's so many people in the entertainment business that not one of them has come forth and said, yes, we're doing predictive programming. Not one. One.
The question that I had written down that I was going to ask him at the end, and I hate that I'm not going to get to ask him, but he made several references to the fact that these governments are trying to push an agenda that impacts reproduction and stops people from reproducing. And my question is, why? What's the benefit to the people who are trying to depopulate the earth? Because once that happens, you're talking about a huge issue because things take people to make, let me think about that right. It takes people to make things happen, right? So if you are trying to reduce the planet, who are you going to have power over? Like you would think that you would want more power over the most people, but what do you get out of depopulating the planet?
I do think that we have an overpopulation crisis, and I think it's going to get worse.
Sure.
I don't have a solution, but I don't think that there's people out there right now going, you know what, we need to implement a plan and wipe out, 10% of the population,
we need
decimation
trainees.
type thing.
We need trainees.
Trainees would help do it, I guess, maybe. Double A, $2. Buy new Joker products. ESO, $2. Thanks for an amazing show, all. You're welcome. And it was great, except that he had to go full retard. And as Kyle and I have a little thing, we don't allow full retard when you go to Sandy Hook. That when you fuck with kids, we will say something, and we don't tolerate that level of bullshit. So be prepared if you guys come on this show. Don't pull that crap because it's not going to fly. Mr. Cook Jr., $5. Can you back up any of these assertions about they, or are you just parroting basic conspiracy theory 101? Any evidence would be appreciated. Yeah, who are they besides me because I'm part of the conspiracy?
The New World Order.
Yeah, who can we name some people that can we get a one on? I want somebody that's actually in
Hulk
charge
Hogan,
of the New World Order.
Kevin Nash, and Scott Hall, obviously.
Gotcha. Will they come on?
Probably not. I think
you know what would be
Kevin Nash
great?
is dead, I think.
You know what would be great is if we could get O.J. Simpson on.
Oh, that'd be so cool. That'd be cool.
Oh man!
By the way, I'm just kind of curious. Scotch with water or without? Anybody? What's your take on that?
Without.
Really?
I
like a little
Scotch. 2 drops per 2 fingers, so drop a finger.
Yes,
roughly.
I agree.
It actually has a chemical reaction with the chemicals in the Scotch to allow you to taste more of the bouquet.
It's more aromatic, and so it's more flavorful. Yeah,
yep.
Scotch
just a
neat,
drop or
man,
two
is the way to go. Scotch neat.
I'm with.
A couple of drops ain't. A couple of drops of water ain't making it not neat, man.
Yeah, it's still neat.
It's neat. It's anti-neat.
No. Try it with a drop of water. It's a little more aromatic.
It's messy.
It doesn't. A drop is not going to water it down. Matter of fact, they had a whiskey